Presumably, you wonder why you should work with Facebook. Page perceptivity. At least that is a question that I get asked veritably frequently. They are your 3 reasons why page perceptivity is a necessary tool. With page perceptivity, you can view crucial criteria about your page's performance. You can learn which posts have the utmost engagement, and you can see data about when your followership is on Facebook. So, for illustration, you can look at each of your posts and see which bones have the most likes, the most comments and most shares, and the least negative feedback. You can use this information to produce further of the types of posts that your audience is interested in. Seen. You can also learn about when your followership is on Facebook and published your post when you are likely to reach further people. So it's a great way to increase the organic reach of your post. All by each, Facebook page perceptivity will help you to reach further people to get further business into craft battery content, and as a result, you will learn further about the gusted off your current onions. You'll get further website business, further dispatch sign-ups, and at the end of the day, you can indeed vend more products and services. This will be a veritably short but important topic because we want to show you how to find Facebook page perceptivity. To do that, logging into the Facebook account and also just go to your fan page at Baker is one of the lower fan pages that we enjoy a little. It's veritably simple. Can you see that? Have over then? It says perceptivity. Well, that is the valve to pierce Facebook page perceptivity. Who? We will show you how serve you manage the most important functions and how to take your marketing to the coming place. Meaning how to induce further website business, how to increase their reach of your posts, and so ahead. So the thing of this videotape is to show you around and to principally explain all the different features on the different sections inside Facebook page inside. So let's get started. The first page is the overview valve, right? So you can see the total quantum of page likes, new page like that. You gained the post reach and the engagement. Now this fan page that we run, then, it's kind of an active, but it does count at each because, well, if your website, if your fan page is active, also you'll see the quantity of peach columns that you build up then, or the volume of people that you are reached with your post. Okay, so this just gives you a brief overview of the general peach performance. Also you will see the top 5 most recent posts. Okay, so you see the post type, the targeting on the total reach and engagement, also pages to watch. You can compare the performance of your page and post with analogous pages on Facebook. We'll talk about that latterly, but you can add pages then manually. However, they are like, let's click on likes, if you want to cover your challenges. Well, first of all, we see, the total page likes in this case is it's 506. Also then we can indeed change and acclimatize the time frame that you want to take this look at, right? We see the net likes, meaning the organic likes, paid likes, and unlike. Also you can see where your page likes have happened. You can see the number of times your patrons like, broken down by where it happened. Enough intriguing. In terms of indigenous, you see the post reach, meaning the number of people your post was served to, right? Also, you see likes, commentary, and shares, and also you can indeed see height reported spam. And unlike information about that. And also we've the total reach of your entire addict page, principally broken down into organic reach and page reach loyalists. Well, we have not about page and valve visits, the number of times each of your peach gates was reviewed. Right, also we've information about external refers, meaning the number of times people came to her page from a website off of Facebook. So in this case is at Chef Google Fleck IT and Google Fleck RS. Right, post. This is a really important section that we'll take a near look at latterly. First of all, you see when your suckers are online, and also you see principally all the posts that you have published and a bunch of really great and precious stats about, well, the type of post, the reach and the engagement a particular post has generated. However, while we've indeed information about that theme, quantum of videotape views and information about 30-second views and also the top videos that you've published, if you are publishing videotapes. Action is surely commodity you want to take a near look at. So you want You can see the distribution between your joker and your womanish followership, right? You can see their age and also where they lived. You have information about the country and the megacity and indeed the languages that they speak. So as you can see, there is tons of information. First of all, you won't use all of that word. There is, well, in my opinion, bunch of stats that are enough much useless. Okay? And the reason why not so numerous people are working with Peach within because they've absolutely no idea or how to make sense of all the data, as you can see there are tons of different criteria and data about your Peach performance. But in fact, there are only 6 sections you want to take a near look at, and that is what we will do in the following videotapes. Right? So, again, this was just a general preface. I just wanted to show you what the different sections are, what information that Facebook page in Wisdom has to offer. But what I want you to do and that is an action item logging into Facebook and just principally play around with this tool for at least 5 twinkles. Okay. You want to get a sense for what you can do? Just seriously do it. Log in playing around with Facebook Peach Perceptivity for 5 to 10 twinkles, you'll see it's lots of fun. Okay. Now that you understood the basic concept of Facebook Page Insights, I want to inform you that how to extract valuable data with Facebook Page Insights. The first really valuable Facebook Page Insights feature is called Pages to Watch. You can compare the performance of your page in your posts with similar pages on Facebook. So what you want to do now is adding pages. Fan pages of your competitors probably even know them. In case you don't know who your competitive and, then just through a very simple research using good old friend Google and, well, just try to identify the 5 biggest and 5 most relevant competitors in your niche market. It's social media examiner Amy Poore, definitive digital marketer John Loomed, digital and online marketing rock stars. So what you can see here is the total amount of page likes. New page likes that these pages gained compared to your last week, then post this week, and the engagement this week came so lots of valuable data. But now here's why this feature is so valuable. If you notice a huge increase in fans or an unusually high engagement, then go ahead and check out what these folks have been doing. Remember, your competitors are not really your competitors there. Your partners and the best case study of there. So what you want to do always is studying your competitors. You want to learn from them, you want to learn what they do, and in this case, you can take a very close look at what types of posts they did and what topics they have covered. So if you see a drastic increase in likes or a drastic increase in engagement, then go to these websites, go to these fan pages and check out what they did. Probably there was something remarkable. So if you see something that worked, try to learn from that. Try to reverse engineer your process. Try to understand why a particular post really resulted in such a high engagement rate. And this run really help you to improve your business constantly. It will help you to craft better content. It will help you to, well, talk to your fans in the different way, and it will really help you to staying more relevant and to drive more free traffic. Your fan Peach. Because, as we all know, the higher engagement rate is, the more people you reach, the more people who are basically land your website for free. You won't have to pay for that traffic. So really trying to understand why the fan base of your competitors is growing continuously and why the engagement rate is so high in the particular time, in trouble again, make sure to monitor your competitors at your 5 biggest competitors to that section and monitor them from time to time. But if they gain new fans, or if the engagement rate went up drastically, then try to understand what has happened on these fan pages. You get new ideas for new blog poster and your videos. Just go through these pages and just check out which post get a lot of engagement. Another really important metric is the number of unlike, so the fact that said you will always have some unsubscribes, no matter how greater engagement is how great your condom. This I usually just watch for spikes in the unlike numbers. You want to try and correlate them with the activity on your page, and you really want to understand why people are leaving your page. Why they are really hit the unlike button. It is hard to NATO van the exact reason, I know. But if there is an unusual spike, you will usually have a pretty good idea now the 4 most common reasons for someone to unlike your page or rolling following. First of all, maybe you're posting irrelevant content consistently or low quality content, so it really happens that people are tired of content that's not relevant to them. So either it is low quality content, but it's not really what they are interested. It's not really geared towards their problems, and probably you're not offering an adequate solution to their problem. So that's the first potential reason, and well, to fix that problem, it's pretty easy. Just invest more time into researching and creating content and make sure that the content resonates with your ideal audience. Then a second reason. Maybe your content is not engaging enough. So you really want to entertain? You want to educate? You want to inspire people? Make sure that the content that you post on your fan page triggers some sort of engagement. Then maybe the language was inappropriate. Maybe you just use some words that you shouldn't have been, or the language that you use didn't resonate with your ideal audience of, for example, if the average audience is like 50 years old and you were talking to them like to your best buddy, then well, probably they were like, okay, this page is not for me. Something weird is going on here, and these people will be like, I really don't want to be a fan of this page anymore, because this is apparently not to pay for me, apparently, and 30 years old for all of that. And the fourth reason is that, well, probably you posted something that was too controversial. Now social media should be always a little bit provoking. I think it was going to have a sack. Maybe you heard about that guy. He's pretty famous. He said that if you're not pissing somebody, often social media, you're doing something wrong. Now you want to be a little bit controversial on your fan page, but, well, maybe you talked about some religious topics. Or maybe you shared some political views that are different from the views of your audience. I know what you did, that you really want to provoke your audience a little bit. You want to bring in a new view to look at things, but don't overdo it. So, shortly we can say that there will be always someone who will, unlike your page. But if you will see some spikes and try to reverse engineer what has happened, and again, the four most common reasons are that you were posting irrelevant content consistently or it was low quality content. Another really important metric that tells you where the traffic to her page is coming from. As this section here external refers, you want to increase exposure to your page on the science and bring you the most traffic. So if you see that there are particular website referencing to your fan page, obviously, if it's Google, then you can do a lot. But if it's like particular websites that refer to your fan page, then you've really wanted you two things. First of all, get more active on their social media accounts. So when they have a Twitter account, a Facebook fan page, you want to be more active on their fan pages. Just add some real value, join the conversations on their social media channels, and the second thing you really should do is to get in touch with the website owners so you can ask for a or, well, just first in gas blogging opportunity or a potential partnership. So you really want to treat your competitors not as competitors but as partners, as friends, as businesses, other business entities that can support you, get involved with them and try to make new friends in your market, right? So these are the people who do the very same thing that you do, probably they have insights that you don't have. And if you really work in establishing long-term relationships, then you will see it will have a huge impact on your business in various ways. Get more active on the social media channels of the websites that are referring to your fan page and trying to contact the website owners. Try to get him on the call or at least send them an email. Tell them, hey, I'm here. Things were referring. All the traffic. What can I do for you? Try to become best friends for them. You won't see. At the end of the day, all of that effort will pay off. Another incredibly valuable feature. I assessed this one here when your fans were online. So Facebook Page Insights collects the data about when your fans were active on Facebook, which is a really great featuring. Absolutely love it, because if you know how to use it, you can increase the organic reach of your posts very easily. So first of all, what you see here are the days when they are online. So we've got Saturday 490 fans, Sunday 496 on average, Monday 486, Tuesday 474, and so on. And besides that, you see when they're active during the day. So you see that the lowest amount of activity is between like 32 at 5 a.m. Okay, they're like only 41 or 42 people on average online. And then at 6 o'clock, things start to wake up slowly. And while the peak during the day is somewhere here around 5 p.m. With 273 people, that's when they usually finish work. Now, why is this feature of this action here is so valuable when you post them? This is a big mistake that most people do. They just post well sometime during the date. Sometimes they post like the scheduler post for 3 a.m. symptoms they post at noon. Sometimes they posted 7 p.m. Sometimes they post at 11 p.m. Now, if you do not post a lot, if you just make like 1 or 2 posts a day, you want to make that post during peak hours and you want to make the post 30 minutes to like after an hour before your audience starts to be, like, really active on Facebook, because then you can make sure that your post will actually get seen by the most amount of people. So in this case, I can see that again. They wake up at 6 a.m. and then 7 a.m. A little bit more people are active. 8 a.m. We have 205, but 9 a.m. And while that it starts to go up right and starts to peak like here, that's a certain plateau that I'm reaching throughout the day. But this part here is very interesting. So what I would do, and this is what I do actually, is scheduling the post for, like, 89 a.m. Because that's when people start to wake up, and then I can make sure that they will see that post instantly. If I would post on 5 a.m., then I would have to compete against my competitors to reach to, these people here. So I would have to bridge this gap somehow, which would be actually pretty hard because, their friends start to post something, other fan pages start to post something, so chances are that nobody will see my post organically, and to prevent that, well, this is what you should do. Just post like an hour 30 minutes before most of your fans start to become really active. So in this case, it's around 8 a.m. 9 a.m. And, well, I just can highly encourage you to do the very same for your family. So go ahead, jangled when your fans were active the most, and then schedule your post accordingly. You will see that it will help you to reach the most amount of people organically without having to spend money on paid Facebook ads to give your business, to give your post more exposure. Go ahead and give it a try. Here's another thing you can do, and that is using Facebook page insights to determine your best performing content. So can you see the section here? Old post published. Just go in post and check out this feature here, and well, you can basically see everything that you have posted on your Facebook fan page. Now, here's what I always like to do. We have information about the type of poster targeting their reach and then the engagement. So what you want to do is select the engagement rate from the drop down here, right? And then you really want to check out your best performing posts. A case of this, when you're at the engagement rate of 12%, here we had one of 5%, 7%, 8% engagement, great, 8% engagement, great, 83% engagement rate, and so on. So you really want to take a look at your best performing posts. When they really take a close look at each and every one of them. And you want to try to understand why these posts triggered the most amount of engagement, right? Was that the post type wasn't a specific type of article that you've published, so you really want to understand what your audience likes and draw your conclusions. Based on these conclusions, you can craft better content. For example, if you see that your audience is responding to video and you like your video, then go ahead and post more video content on your fan page. If you see that your audience loves long-form content, well, then go ahead and publish more long-form content. If you see that they love pictures and letters, specific inspirational votes, then just go ahead and do that. So this is something I can highly recommend. It will help you to develop a better social media strategy. And here's another thing you can do, and here's another great thing that you can do if you see that your post is doing particularly well, right? If you see that there are certain posts that get, like, really high engagement right off the bat, then you can promote that post with paid traffic. So in this case, we've seen in the past that this post here had an unusually high engagement rate. So we gave that post more exposure, we promoted that post. As you can see, it reached 1.9000 people organically and almost 37,000 people with paid Facebook ad. So if you don't have a lot of money to spend on Facebook ads and you want to allocate your budget more efficiently, well, then just go ahead and use this tool here to define what content gets shared a lot and then just take the next step and create some paid Facebook ads. Give that post that is already doing well. Send some paid traffic, kid, because, as you won't see, if you kick-started a little bit with P, traffic will get shared again, and this will result in free organic traffic. So, if you're trying to understand what performs really well on your fan page, if you really want to understand what types of contain, use witchcraft and future, then well use the section here to define and to determine that type of content that triggers the most engagement, trying to understand what's the reason that this post performed so well, that resonates so well with your fans, with your audience, and then just create more content that's similar to the one that's already doing well. You want to try to identify where your fans live, where they're coming from. So if you click on the People tab, you have some really great information about the core demographics of your audience. So in case of that big African, see that 17% of the fans are female, 83% are male. I can also see the age distribution. So I see that the majority 37% are actually 37% here and 10% here. So 32%, almost half of the fans, are between 25 to 34. So the audience is pretty young, generally speaking. And then I see that well-forwarded and from Bangladesh and Saudi Arabia. And so on, United States. I can even see the cities they live: Dhaka, Chittagong, Khulna, Sylhet. And so on. And I even have information about the language of state speak. This is a really important section to get a better and clearer picture of who your audience is, and well, this feature has two major implications. The 1st of January is that it will give you 8 years for you at targeting. If you know that the majority of your fans is male and between 25-34, if you're running paid traffic and pains, you want to try to optimize your ads towards that age group, towards that demographic, because, as you can see, that's just 32% of the audience here. So when you see that a particular age group or gender is really predominant, you want to use that data to test new ATS to splitters ads and see if you get better results. If you really reach out to that particular group of people, and also in terms of countries and cities, if you see that, well, you've got tons of fans from one particular city, then try to region to the people living in that particular city on lease. If you drive, pay traffic to your block, post your products. I don't know what you're trying to use with Facebook at, but what you can really try is to target particular cities. If you see that there are 1 or 2 cities that are really strongly represented, then just go ahead, use this information and start testing. Start split testing and see if you get better results. And the second implication is that the state will help you to determine what kind of content to publish and how to speak to your audience. Now, in this case, my audience is very young, so definitely use a different tone than if my audience would be like 45 years or 50 years and older. Also, I can see that 83% of my target audience is male. Only 17% is female. So probably I would make posted are rather geared toward men than women. So obviously one appeal to only of your fans. But if there's a particular group of people that makes up like 37% of your organ, just as in this case, that you want to strongly focus on that group of people, again, check out the people who like your page. Try to understand who your target audience is, who the audience is that you're speaking to, try to understand where they live, in what languages they speak, and also how the gender distribution is. Take a look at particular age groups if they are very predominant, and then use that information to test new ads, use that information to work on your ad targeting, and also use these insights that you gain to craft better content and to choose an adequate language when you're talking to your audience. You made it until the end of this tutorial. We really appreciate your presence. Now it's important that you don't sit on what you just learned. We covered everything you need to know in order to harness the power of Facebook page inside. So just go ahead and take action, analyze your fan page and take your marketing to the next level. And, hey, if you have any questions, then feel free to reach out. We're here to help you and will definitely answer all of your questions. Stay with Bsocialtoday. Good luck.